Welcome, Tabletop Players. My name is Ruin Ortega, and in this episode, I'm your Game Master because we're playing Power Rangers by Renegade Game Studios. Joining with me, as always, is my co-host, Cade.
Hi, I'm Cade. We're playing Power Rangers, and that's about all I got. I haven't watched Power Rangers in about 20 years. Ruin was very excited about this. That's why it's our season opener. Hey, by the way, this is a new season. Hi, everybody. I don't have anything good. I have nothing to add.
And, of course, we're joined with our players, Jaden.
Hey, I mean, insert Power Ranger reference that I have no good one for.
And Jody.
Hello.
And yeah, we've met season 3. This is so exciting, guys. We are going into our 3rd year of recording. How do you feel about that?
This is about 2.5 seasons more than I thought we were going to make it.
I'm tired, broken. I weep uncontrollably in the shower. But I'm happy to be here.
I just roll dice in my dreams every night.
My social media algorithm is ruined forever. It's just obscure TTRPGs that I'll never play. And most of the time I don't even want to play. But
We also rate and review coffees on this show, and this batch is going to be... Oh, that was terrible. I'm sorry.
Are you recording here too?
No, it's just Cade and I.
coffee.
It's part of our intro.
Okay.
We also rate and review coffees on this show, and in this batch, we are looking at Dark Elf's Brew by Homebrew Coffee Company. Cade, what do you have to say about this coffee?
this coffee is interesting. It says in the tasting notes that it has orange and some like chocolatey notes and things like that. And typically whenever we have a like citrusy flavor note as advertised with a coffee, I get a little bit nervous, especially since we had the really tangy one earlier on. But this one, I really enjoyed it. It has like the flavor of orange, but not the citrusy bite to it. It's really subtle, and just kind of, I don't know. It's a really nice accent to the end of the flavor palette of the coffee.
Mm-hmm. The coffee itself, I know you hate this description, but it's very smooth. It doesn't have a lot of that like that bitter cutting to it, you know. I really enjoyed this. So you know what, Cade, I'm gonna go with a 4.5 10,000-year-old moon witches.
Sure. I'm gonna go with, yeah, probably about a 4.5 purple people made of ooze.
Well, there you have it, folks. Dark Elf's Brew by Homebrew Coffee Company at a 4.5 out of 5.
Purple witches on the moon made of ooze?
Yeah,
Perfect.
Ivans and Ritas.
There we go.
But with that, grab a mug, fill it full of the hot stuff, sit back and listen as we play Power Rangers by Renegade Game Studios.
You successfully completed most of your Ranger training. Now all that you have left is the Power Ranger battle simulation. This room is designed for you to test your skills against a holographic AI opponent. Remember, you're stronger as a team. Good luck, Rangers!
You know, that wasn't bad.
That was pretty good.
From what I
Honestly,
remember
everyone
from
knows
20
what that
years
is.
ago. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, everyone will know
Brought
it.
back the member berries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. And there you are, brand new Rangers, officially assembled as your team. You all come from various backgrounds, but together you are united as the Power Rangers. And you've been run through a series of tests by Alpha 5 and Zordon. And currently, as you look around you, you are in the battle simulation room. And before you stands a massive monster known as a putty. And we are going to begin by rolling initiative, which in this game is done with a d20 plus your initiative score. If you have not gotten any points in initiative, which is a skill, you must take the initiative at a disadvantage. So roll 2 d20s and take the lower.
Rolled a 22, so I have a D4 bonus.
And you add your speed on too? Or no? I don't know.
No,
No?
it's just your
Okay,
initiative
cool.
score.
Okay.
I am definitely going last. I got a 4.
Your speed notes how many actions you can take per turn.
12.
22, a 12, and a 4, and 1 moment.
When the GM just leaves in the middle of a session.
If he doesn't come back with a costume, I'm going to be upset.
Comes in rocking full putty face.
Yeah, a full Power Ranger, like, morph suit. Oh, hey, man.
I did not catch that at all.
Good, don't worry about it. For our listeners, he did not do that thing I was hoping he would do.
Did you hope I was coming back in costume?
Yeah, I did. That's exactly what I said.
All right, so Jody got a 22. Kate, I think you were next with a 14.
12.
12. And Jaden with a 4.
Yes.
Now, one additional rule is that you guys each can choose to try to reorder your initiative. So if on the next turn you are not happy with your initiative, you can give up your movement in order to re-roll it.
That's actually kind of cool.
I like that idea.
All right, and I'm just going to roll for the putty.
So it's a putty, not a putty?
Well, I did enunciate silly, but yes.
Okay.
It's with 2 T's.
Oh, it's just making sure.
All right, and as noted, yes, each one of our rangers has a speed score, and the speed tells them how many actions they can take in a turn. So 1 point to move up to their movement, which for most people is 30 feet. 1 point to take an attack, and 1 point for a bonus action or something of the sort. There are free actions and things that they can do within that as well. However, if they have more than 3 points, then they can do more things, including if their role, which is determined by their color of ranger, might give them an extra attack. That's the way that they could use their extra speed to use an extra attack. Additionally, if they have less than 3 points of speed, then they can only do as many actions as they get. So if you have 2, you can only move and take an attack, or attack and do a bonus action, and things like that. With that, though, Jody, is your turn.
You can't like just spend extra points on more attacks. You still are limited to 1 unless you have the extra attack like skill.
Correct.
Right?
You could use extra movement to double your speed, but no more than once.
Yeah, I got it. I just have like a really high speed, so I was like, I can attack a whole bunch of times.
Well, and the good thing is you chose the Green Ranger role, which is similar to your class in like D&D, for instance, and you will eventually get lots of extra attacks.
Okay, so how far are we already morphed?
You are. You've been in heavy training, and so you are all in your morphed forms, which means that your armor is enhanced, and you have access to more perks and things like that.
Roger that. All right, well, how far away is the putty?
You're all within 30 feet.
Okay, well, I'm going to use 2 points of movement because mine's only 20 feet. And then I'm going to rock up and attack for a 15 on my attack attempt roll.
All right, and he's going to try to take that on the chin. He does, I believe, just to confirm, I believe that if it meets the value, it succeeds, right?
Yes.
Pretty sure it's meets it, beats it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, you do hit.
Story of my life. Took it however you want to.
All right.
I realize that has
Good.
many different ways, and I'm not a violent person, so it's not about fist fighting.
It's just because Jaden's the best. He just beats everyone at everything.
I beats him, I beats him.
Around!
This staff, my unique staff, has stun on it as an effect.
Yes.
Okay, so successfully hitting with a stun weapon means they're denied their move action for the listed number of turns. So I've stunned 2, so it can't move for 2 turns.
That is correct.
Roger that.
Yeah, it does not do any
Dang.
damage, but the stun is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, like, so the rod at all doesn't do any damage?
I don't believe so, unless it has like an attack value plus a stun value.
Well, it does. It's
it
like
does?
one of the unique weapon options for the
Okay.
Green Ranger.
So what damage does it do on top of the 2 rounds of stun?
Energy damage.
Okay, and of 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so he's gonna be standing there, as it's a rod, you said.
Yeah, like a bow staff. Imagine
So as-
Donatello, but sci-fi.
Nice. As you run up, you just take your best stance, and just like you're hitting a home run, whack him right across the muzzle, and his whole body kind of just shakes for a second before it appears like he's almost just like pinned into the air, but he's still touching the ground. And it is on to Kate's turn.
Cool. Yeah, so I am a Black Ranger. So I don't have any multi-attacks or anything, but I do have 40 feet of movement, which is cool. So I'm going to run up and I'm going to attack him with my power sword, which uses my might. And I have a specialization with power weapons. And can you explain to me again how that works? With having a
Yes,
specialization?
so the specialization will use one of your skills underneath your main stat. So we have 4 main stats in Power Rangers. We have strength, speed, smarts, and social. And then underneath all of those are, kind of more specialized skills, such as underneath strength, we have athletics, brawn, conditioning, intimidation, and might. So let's say that Cade had the brawn to use with his weapon, and he could put it down as a specialization, and he would roll his d20 plus extra die on top of that. The way that attacks are made and skills are made in Power Rangers is a d20 plus, if you have points spent into it, you get to roll first a d2, then a d4, then a d6 as you put more points into it. With specialization, though, you roll all of those dice, and you take the value of the 20 plus the highest of all of the other ones below it.
Cool. All right, so I'm attacking.
And can I just add that because he is stunned, you get an edge. There are 2 mechanics in here. They're called edges or snags, and an edge means you get an additional d20 to roll, and you take the higher, and a snag means you take the lower.
Cool. Didn't help me any. 12.
12 does not hit. So what does your special weapon look like?
It's a power sword. So I'm thinking like a one-handed kind of short sword thing, black and sharp and jaggedy and Power Rangers looking.
Nice. So a little bit exaggerated in the shape of it.
Yeah.
So you took your movement to run up, of course, and so
I did.
Your ranger goes up, and he almost like a kind of a feint in order to hit, and as he does, it glances off the side.
Gotcha.
All right, and then it is going to be the putties, but of course he is stunned, so I just want to double check to see if there's anything to get out of stun. I don't believe there is, though, so I am going to move us along with Jaden's turn.
Okay, well, I am paying a massive Pink Ranger. I felt the need of this guy being 6'7", and he uses just like a hulking bow. And he's just going to stand where he is and use his volley attack. That's the special ability of the Pink Ranger class, which lets you take 2 shots as long as you don't move. And he's going to fire both at that putty. Oh, and I got specialization in my archery, so I'm going to run that freaking gambit. Oh, I need to pick the right one. Almost grabbed a D8, if only. Okay. That is a 16.
A 16 will hit.
Okay.
Now, as you're calculating, or it's just 1 damage on that, right?
Yeah, 1 energy, and then I guess I'd roll for the second shot as well.
Yes. Power Rangers uses a low damage and health mechanism, and so most weapons only do 1, maybe 2 damage if you're lucky. If you create a power weapon, which is all of the Rangers put their power weapons together and create one bigger one as seen in the show, then you might do like a maximum of like 5 or 6, but it's usually pretty light. And so Jaden, what did you roll for your second attack there?
That was an 8.
An 8 does not hit. Now, I do want to take a moment here just to note that there are 4 different types of armor and evasion in this. So, you look at D&D, it's got 1, it's just your AC. You look at Pathfinder, or actually Starfinder is the one I want to highlight because they have your KAC, and is it your EAC? I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yep.
Yeah,
Kinetic and energy.
There we go. So there's 2 different styles of armor or evasion. This one has 3. So it has toughness, evasion, willpower, and cleverness. And it's a lot. So when I'm looking at this attack coming at me as the game master, I'm going, well, he's stunned. So he just has to take the hit on the chin. And so he has no way of moving out. So it has to be his toughness armor that he's going to try to evade with. And he did. Somehow. Your first one hit him. The second one, I think you kind of ricocheted off to the top above him. And with that, we are going to go back to the top of the initiative order. Now, Jaden, you had a fairly low initiative. Did you want to try to give up your movement to re-roll that?
Oh, yeah, I guess if I just have to give up my movement, I do. Oh, but then my volley ability requires me not to move. So, but can I still burn my movement to do that? That's an interesting question.
I think you
Ooh,
can.
I think so.
I mean,
I'll
definitely.
requires not to move.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm even not moving harder.
2 birds, 1 stone.
2 birds stoned at once.
What do we got here? Ooh, that's not bad. That is a 19 now.
A 19. Excellent. So you are actually going to go up above Cade.
Haha.
I used my turn so effectively last time. I'm very upset by this.
And this guy is really putting up a fight, laying there convulsing on the ground.
Yeah.
And Jody, it is your turn.
Did the putty go?
He cannot. He is stunned.
But it just says movement. Can't move for 2 turns, so he could still technically attack because I'm in melee range.
You are right. Thank you.
Much.
That is a good point. It seems odd that he can attack but not move, but I'm going to take it. So thank you for the clarification on that. Yeah, he's going to, I believe you're right in front of him. Actually, This is fun fact. So the way that aggro works, they actually have a rule for aggro, and it at least... never mind. I'm not gonna say it because they don't actually have a rule for aggro. I forgot it was just this monster, and I'm gonna say too much, and I don't want to. So it is going to try to reach out and hit Jaden from where it's at. However, because Jody is right in front of him, its attack, even though he's aiming for Jaden, will go to Jody with a snag. So the first is a 20, and second is a 10 total.
Against
10,
what AC?
It is whatever you would like to use. It's up to you. So if you want to try to just take the hit, it would be your toughness. If you want to dodge out of the way.
Oh, well, right. I guess if it meets, it beats. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'll use my toughness AC anyway.
Okay, and
the second one doesn't hit. The first one does. The 20 does.
Okay, so because I was rolling with a snag, it means it is going to miss because it went with the second one.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So it's back to Jody's turn as we begin initiative with our new order.
Okay, I brush off the putty's feeble attempt at grabbing me. I swing my bow staff around and I hit for a 22.
Yes, that definitely hits. Is that still the stun rod?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to take another 2 rounds of stun. Okay, and 1 damage?
Yep.
Perfect. I feel like you did you just took that hit on the chin before then just... Is it a riposte when you go back right away?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just riposte him right across the flank.
That's a nice hit, Mr. Putty, but this is better.
Yeah, get those quips in there. Wait, you're not the Black Ranger.
No, but I remember how all of the Rangers talked in the combat scenes in the show. And it was always that tone. That haha, you got me, but I can get you better.
That is fair. That is fair. All right, with that, it is going to go to Jaden as the new initiative dictated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what else am I going to do but just take 2 more shots? Because, come on. So he's just going to, get down on one knee, take this beautiful form, take like a big parabolic arc, and start raining some arrows down on him. And that is going to just be 2 again. So first one is that's going to miss. That's a 7. And let's do the second one. Even worse, an 8. He really shouldn't have took that stance. It's like he just was shooting the roof now.
So this putty noticeably is a lot larger than some of the other ones you might have seen on television and stuff, because everybody in the world knows about all these aliens that have been attacking. And you see it as it just like sweeps its hands through the air and knocks your volleys out of the way. And it will go on to Cade.
Cool. I'm also going to make an attack. That's gonna miss as well. I got a 10. Yeah, I sure did.
All right. Sorry about your luck there, pal.
Yep.
But yeah, same thing as let's see. Ooh, the putty suddenly turns its gaze down at Jody and just locks eyes with him before taking his hand and fully opened reaches towards him and does a 21 hit.
Yep.
All right,
Yes,
so he is going to deal you 1 blunt damage.
Okay.
As he grabs you around your body and just squeezes for a moment before throwing you down a little bit. You're still standing, you catch your feet very easily, and then we go back to the top of the initiative order with you yourself,
Which would
Jody.
be me again. Okay. I'll wipe the putty ooze off of my face and just swing back. Oh, only hit for 7.
That is not going to be a hit.
Yeah, I couldn't get it out of my eyes. I couldn't see.
Can
was blinded.
So I'm not sure how this works. I have a free action as one of my abilities. Am I allowed to use it as like a reaction? Because it changes his role. But do I have to declare it beforehand?
I don't think so.
Cool. So then...
I'm just looking up reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... reaction. What's the specific one called?
Heart of the Team. So I use one of my quips and speeches as a free action, and it gives a 1 shift to the role of any ally within 60 feet of me that can understand what I'm saying.
I don't know if they have like reactions or anything. They just
Yeah, I
have
was
stuff
gonna
that
say,
you
I
do
think
on
that
your
has
turn.
to be on your turn.
Okay. Sorry, I tried.
Feels like something that, like... Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you could definitely run it the other way.
It sounds like it's
bad.
begging to be a reaction.
It
but-
does, but I could also see it being like, come on, guys,
Yeah.
let's get him. And then we all have a better
Yeah.
chance at getting him the next time. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I could
setting
see it
someone
going
up for
either
that
way.
next big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm good with it. If there's no reaction, then there's no reaction. That's one less thing to have
Yeah,
to think
I
of. So-
don't see a rule that says anything about reactions.
All right. No worries. Next time.
I actually
Can I
like
get-
that idea
get it?
of this system too. They streamline it. You just take your turn, and that's
Yeah.
when you do your stuff.
Some of the enemies do have reactions, but I haven't seen any for the
Let's see how
the
it is.
characters.
Mm.
All right.
Can I ask a quick question though too? Just because I've taken a damage now. How do we calculate our total health? Because I forgot all I had in here was my bonus health from my background.
Yeah, my health
So
is 2.
your
Yeah,
your
same.
origin and then any perks you might have would give you your.
So 2 health isn't abnormal.
no, it's reasonable.
Okay.
It relies mainly on your armor
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do, and
Gotcha.
and
I
like,
was just
some of-
making sure.
Yeah, and some of the roles. This is a good conversation just for our audience. It relies on low health because it believes that most of your perk is going to affect your armor, which means that things don't hit
Yeah.
you as much. And then a lot of the roles will actually have like healing abilities and things like that, which would give you health back.
Okay.
I would anticipate that in future releases they will probably have more perks that give you increased health and things like that.
Yeah.
You can also take the conditioning skill
Yes.
under strength, and that gives you +1 all the way up to a +6, and that also is added to your health.
Oh, in that case, I have 3.
Well, yeah. Same.
Oh, Jody and I are playing the same person. It's...
Basically, honestly.
All right. So I know Jody's gone. Did Cade and
No,
everybody go?
no, it
No,
should
so
be
it's
Jaden.
Jody.
Jaden next. Jaden, right.
He's gonna go for another 2. I say, oh my gosh, what else would I do here?
Yeah, I can already tell until we get higher level. The combat's like, I hit him.
I don't.
That's pretty much every system, though.
Yeah.
First two levels of D&D, that's all it is, and I find that like everyone hates combat in those levels.
Yeah.
So my first one was definitely a miss because it was like a 7, and then my next one was an 18.
That does hit.
Mm-hmm. So that's another energy 1.
Okay. And that was just a 1, right?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. And anything else?
No, I can't move or anything, and I don't think I have any free actions I want to take. Yeah, no, I think I'm good at this moment. I gotta look up on the free actions and see what I can do, but I'll end my turn here.
Perfect. All right, Cade.
Okay, so I'll make my attack first. That's a nat 1. Yeah. So that sucks.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a fumble.
There is, and so
Okay.
it's things like drop your weapon, things like that. So I will say that you go to lash out, and instead the sword, it's a sword, right?
Yeah, it's a sword.
Yeah. Drop. It slips from your fingers, and you will have to take 1 action to pick it up next round.
A full action?
Yes, but not the same as like an attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
1 point of action.
Okay. So then could I do that with, instead of taking a movement? Because I haven't moved yet. So can I just pick it up now?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to do that. And then with my free action, I'm going to use my Heart of the Team ability. Yeah. Come on, guys. We can do it. And yeah. So then another point of contention with the wording. It says, of any ally within 60 feet of you that can understand. So is that only, do I have to pick one, or is that any ally that is within 60 feet? Okay, so you guys both get a shift 1 on your next roll.
So that means you guys will roll a d20 plus a d2. Unless you're already rolling that, and then you roll, you go up to whatever it is.
Yeah.
I guess you would already be rolling that because you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this game, if you do not have a point invested in the skill you're trying to use, you roll with disadvantage. You roll with a snag, which I'm not sure if I like that idea or not. It just means that you're untrained, and so you aren't as successful.
Yeah.
All right. Then it is going to go on to the putty, who is still stunned, so he is going to Jaden. It's almost like he's trying to reach around, so he swipes into the air as he glances at Jaden. It is going to take after Jody, though, because he's right in front with a snag. Yeah, so a natural 1. So as this putty goes to reach out, he slips, and he'll have to take a little bit of movement on his next turn if he can to stand up fully.
Rookie mistake, slipping on your own putty ooze.
And we cycle back around to Jody.
Okay, I'm just looking at the jumping table.
You should have
Of course they
30
have a
feet of
jumping
jump.
table. Yeah, I just wanted to do something fancy. So because I have the putty stunned, I want to try, and we have our triple jumping distance while we're morphed, according to the rules. So I want to do like a backwards jump and then hit with the ranged attack on my special golden power staff, because then he can't grab me. Well, I mean, I guess if he was trying to grab Jaden, he might still be able to, but I'm going to try it out anyway.
Yeah.
So
How far back are you jumping?
my thing's only got a 30-foot range, so 30 feet.
Okay.
Pretty much. Okay, so where's my D8 here? 21 total to hit.
That does hit.
Okay, cool. For same, just 1 energy damage.
Okay. So you do your backwards leap through the air and fire off that shot for hitting him square in the face, and then it is Jaden's turn.
Unhappy with his last performance of kneeling, he's now going to lay down, just assuming that for somehow that's going to be a better way of shooting him. Yeah. And so he's going to fire off 2 more.
All right.
Unless I guess that maybe gives me disadvantage for being prone, so maybe if not, then he just crouches real low.
I think there's only disadvantage if you're firing into... Oh, you were firing into melee, though. Nah, we're good.
Yeah.
It was a volley shot.
Don't forget your shift on your first one.
Yeah, which an 11 on my first one and a 19 on my second one.
So the 19 will hit.
Bastard. That putty being so tough, how dare he?
And he takes a damage. And then we are off to Cade.
I'm gonna attack. 11. That is gonna miss, I'm sure. Yeah. I think that's. I don't think there's anything else that I can really do.
Your
I could
heart of the
jump,
team
and that's
doesn't
about it.
give to you, does it?
It just says to allies, and as much as I think I am my own ally in this universe, I don't think that's how that works. So,
all right. Well, I am going to introduce another mechanic here for you guys. So we do have what's known as story points. We get 1 story point for every team member at the beginning of the session, and they can be used to do things like automatic rerolls and different things like that. So if you want to spend a story point, you could reroll.
yeah, I'm gonna do that because I'm getting frustrated that I can't hit the broadside of a barn. 18.
Oh,
That does hit.
Nice. That's 1 sharp damage. So now I only have
Perfect.
2 story points.
So finally, the Black Ranger, he lashes out and he just barely misses the face of him the first time before he brings it in a counter spin and right across the chest.
Yeah.
And we'll go back up to let's see. Yeah, we'll go back up to the top there. And it's Jody. Yeah, oh yeah, and you didn't stun him, did you?
Nope.
No. So, the putty, feeling this massive wound across his chest, looks over at Cade and takes both his fists and makes them look like they're bigger, almost like they're like giant stones, and brings them wailing together for
Seemed rude.
a 17.
That is not enough.
This is not enough.
No, with my morphed and like being a Black Ranger, I'm kind of the tanky one. So my my thing is 18.
Oh wow, I'm a little disappointed in my putty pal. All right, we are back up then with Jody.
Just gonna shoot him again. Well, did he move? No, he didn't move.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take another shot with the staff for 19.
Hits.
Beauty. 1 energy damage.
Perfect. Jaden.
me being silly forgot that I can't just volley all the time. Technically, I have volley points. I did take 3 volleys, but since I only hit 1 each time, I think we could let my stupidity go. So realizing he's just tuckered himself out so much from using his bow, he's gonna like fold it down. It's gonna like collapse. He's gonna put it on his back. He's gonna run up and he's gonna spin kick the dude right across the face.
Love it.
It's not very effective. That putty just like laughs at him. It was a 5.
Ooh, yeah. It seems like your Pink Ranger kind of overexpended itself and is pretty exhausted, and so as it goes through the kick, it kind of just spins in front of the face of the putty and then lands back down and just kind of breathes heavily for a moment, and then
a beautiful pirouette.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Cade then.
All right, let's see if I've been emboldened at all from finally getting a hit on him. Hey, dirty 20. So that'll be 1 sharp.
All right, that definitely does hit.
1 sharp. Yeah.
Perfect.
Good job.
All right. Well, with that, how do you finish off this hologram putty?
I think because I'm a Black Ranger and I like look around to like my friends and I'm like emboldened because like even if we're gonna lose, like we're here as friends, man, and like we're part of a team. I like use that to like bolster myself and I swing real hard and just like cut through like the midsection.
Awesome. And it just shatters into like cubes, dissipating into the air, and then fades. And as the hologram just fades around all of you and you see the white squared and tiled room, each one of you feels completely rejuvenated as you're reminded that this was just a simulation. So any damage you sustained was not actually real, but was an effect of the training room.
Do we get
And with
story
that-
points back?
You do not get your story points back.
It was a real shot.
And I will throw out there that you also lost out on a potential 1 story point. To be fair, it's because he was stunned a lot, but you had a potential to find one story point. If he had been able to move around, he would have gone after whoever attacked him last every time. So he would have been changing targets constantly. And if you guys had figured that out, then you would have got a story point.
What if we try to talk to him? Find out why he's so
You would've
mad.
done-
Be friends with him.
I feel like you would have heard him go,
buddy.
Hey.
yeah.
This-
But with that, you hear the voice of Alpha once again going,
Congratulations, Rangers! Your Ranger recruit training is now complete. Oh, I'm so proud of you all. Next week, you will begin.
and we'll be right back, not in a week, but after this coffee refill.
Hey, Table Help players, it's Ruin here. We're just taking a quick coffee refill. And as we do that, we wanted to talk to you about some of the exciting possibilities that we have here in the Natural 20 Cafe. Joining with me to do that is my co-host, Cade.
Hey, I'm still Cade from the beginning and now. We have some really awesome things that we would love for you to be aware of. First of all, we have our Patreon. If you like the show and would like to support us more while getting some extra goodies along the way, please consider checking us out on Patreon at Cantrips and Coffee. For a couple of bucks, you can support us while also getting some amazing bonuses like our exclusive Discord, some extra special side podcasts that aren't released anywhere else, as well as uncut episodes of this show you're listening to right now. We're even funnier if you don't filter us.
You can also join us on all forms of social media. We are most active on Instagram and TikTok. And we like to think we're funny and post funny things there. And so join in on the conversation. And who knows, maybe look forward to a contest or something that we throw at you once in a while. But with that, I think those beans are being done brewing. And we're going to get back into the episode.
All right, we are back and highly caffeinated. The next thing you hear is the booming voice of Zordon as he comes on in the hollow screens all around you. And he says,
Rangers, I am sensing distortions in the morphing grid in several locations around Angel Grove. I'm afraid that General Repulsa is up to something. We are now picking up reports of kidnappings at each of the distortion locations around Angel Grove. I want you to investigate and see what you can find out. I do not believe this will be dangerous, as the distortions have since passed. Alpha 5 will support you from here in the command center, should you require assistance.
and Alpha 5 looks to you.
Rangers, what will you do?
Probably go.
Yeah, I mean, no.
It's the Black
I'm not in
Ranger
for it. I got a
volunteer.
recital. Like, I got to go do my dance. I ain't got time for this.
Zordon, I put in for vacation time.
I told you when you hired me, I needed the week off for my mom's wedding. Like, come on.
So, Alpha 5 looking around, seeing all the...
Ay, ay, ay. Black Ranger, thank you for volunteering.
And Cade, you're going to get one edge on your next roll.
Thank you.
You guys are supposed
Suck
to be
up.
heroes. You're supposed to volunteer for things willingly.
I'm a teenager with a very complex and busy life.
And to be
I'm
fair,
sorry.
the opening lines say teenagers with attitude. So what were they asking for, really?
Right? I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm like the cynical
I'm supposed to be
Green
cruising
Ranger.
with Susie.
Did you take the
this
cynical...
Yeah.
Yeah. is that the background, Jody? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Origin.
Yeah,
The
the
origin.
cynical. Oh, it's the origin?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, of course, and on that note, even though it was brought up jokingly, all of our rangers have different origins, and now that they're about to, or now that they've given you a bit of their kind of sarcastic or funny, fun-loving ethicals in the way of the Black Ranger, even though he probably didn't intend it to be, ways, let's do a little bit of some character here. So, Cade, why don't you tell us all about the Black Ranger?
So my Black Ranger, his name is Calvin. He is the athletic origin. He's, part of a bunch of sports teams and stuff like that. And as that, he kind of, fitting the Black Ranger archetype. kind of likes to step up to be kind of the leader if no one else does. If like we're kind of lost or our regular leader isn't around, whether it's Zordon or your Red Ranger or whatever, then Calvin's kind of the guy that jumps up to do that. His influences, he's got small town roots. He's from a small town originally, and sometimes finds it tough to relate to people from Angel Grove and other big cities. So that's interesting, and have some fun hang-ups with that. That's basically him.
Perfect. And Cade, can you kind of tell us, like, the Black Ranger? I mean, some people out there might not see that all of the different colors of Rangers have specialized roles. We kind of talked about this in our break, but in the television show, you didn't really see that there was that big of a difference besides their weapons. But this game, and I think the extended media of Power Rangers, really tries to show that there's a difference. So if you could kind of define the Black Ranger's like combative role,
he's your pretty typical tank. A lot of his abilities are towards buffing up your toughness, and making sure that you're really strong and able to kind of take it on the shin, and kind of command and boost up your other characters rather than doing a ton of damage on your own.
Perfect. And Jaden, tell us about your Ranger.
I am playing... Apparently I wrote 2 different names depending on what level I was. I am playing Albert, the Pink Ranger. I went with the oddball origin because I thought it'd be funny to play this character. It's kind of like just a bunch of contradictions in a sense. So he's this massive 6'7", like 250-pound, fairly shredded guy. But he's a contemporary dancer, and he is just consumed by his art. He loves it to the point of which, like, even maybe in the middle of fight, if he thinks of like, oh, I need to like try this new move, I think it'll look really good, he might even stop and put on a quick little recital for everyone that's around there. But yeah, so he's just, and that I think is what kind of predisposed him to be the Pink Ranger, because it's kind of like the obligate ranger, almost rogue kind of archetype, where it's all about like being fast and finesse, and then you mostly focusing on ranged combat. All of it has their volley ability, which I was using in our previous combat too many times, maybe even. And so yeah, all of their stuff is just focused around being kind of like if not the quickest, one of the quicker, and staying away, kind of providing support, from a distance.
Excellent.
We can use your like famous dance skills as a cover. Like, we're just your assistants, and that's why we're always in these like horrible scenarios. We got a show in town this week.
No one will question why we're wearing these weird outfits and doing all these strange, performances.
No one. And Jody, what about your Ranger?
All right, I'm playing Kristoff, the Green Ranger, and the Green Ranger is kind of like wasn't originally part of the team, but ended up as part of the team, and is sort of like the unwilling loner, like was separated from the team for an extended period of time, so learned how to be really self-sufficient, but like wants to be part of a team, which I think is kind of cool to bake right into like the backstory of a class. And the Green Ranger is kind of like the fighter of the bunch, so it has like extra strength, gets an extra attack, gets bonuses to like attack actions and stuff like that, and a little bit of extra health. So I went with the martial artist background because I felt like that makes sense. Not background, but influence. And then also, to go with the Ranger's backstory, I also picked the not from around here influence, which is like basically that I've been separated from society for an extended period of time. And what I went to like keep it in the lore universe is the Green Ranger was supposedly part of Rita Repulsa's forces. So I said that I was like stuck on her moon base for like many years and missed like the best parts of all of our characters' childhood. So that's why I kind of just can't relate to the world around me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I believe, well, in the original series for sure, Rita Repulsa like creates the Green Ranger, and he comes into the series as evil. But I believe in the extended lore, Rita Repulsa is one of the original, maybe not the original, but she was a Green Ranger at one point. I believe that's how the lore goes. Yeah. So, and yeah, one of the things that you guys talked about there is your influences, and that I'm just trying to find it here. There's 2 different stats, and they are your influence or your, I shouldn't say stats. Hang-ups. Do you know what page that's on?
Yeah. Not sure what page, but it just says it on the character sheet. And also, I had to pick not
64.
pick, but I got a hang up because I have two influences, and the hang up is I suffer a snag on all social-based skill tests.
Right. And so
wow.
what Jody has just described is everybody gets a free influence, which is something that they can do, a little bit of an extra perk. Most of the time it's you gain an edge on things. But if you want more than one, that's great. But kind of like GURPS, how you had advantages and disadvantages, this is if you take more than one influence, you have to have a hang-up, such as Jody's that he just described there. So I don't know if anybody else chose an extra
Just
influence. Yeah, even one of the videos I was watching today was like most people at a level 1 starting out probably wouldn't. But they also said that, a great thing that you could do is as you're playing the game, they get a new influence, they get a new hang up.
It seems like a cool way to kind of further your customization of your character once you're a little more familiar with the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just because my guy was a dancer until now doesn't mean he's not going to change a little bit after, saving the universe 100 times. You should probably gain a little more depth at that point, hopefully.
One would hope. All right. Well, here we're going to go back into the story now, as I'm just going to send you guys a couple of images here. While I am getting it to you, can each one of you roll me a D3?
D3?
Yeah, I'm doing this outside of game. This isn't a mechanic from the game. I just need a thing.
That's a 1 for me.
Yeah, that'd be a 2 for me.
Okay, so Cade, this first one's gonna be for you. So I am going to put this in the Discord chat, and if you want to just read it aloud for us. What just happened? I just opened like a million windows somehow. All right, so after Zordon has announced that there are some kidnappings that have happened, Alpha rushes over to one of the computers.
And he says, Rangers, I pulled information from Angel Grove police files about the Distortion kidnappings. I'll transfer the information to your risk communicator so you know who you are looking for. Go find these 3 missing people and bring them home.
And the first one is going to go to Cade for him to read out for us as it comes on to his communicator.
Maya Lopez, age 14. She's a student at Angel Grove High School. She's very smart, GPA of 4, unless it's on a 9-point scale, in which case she's pretty average. She was last seen at the student council in room 19B yesterday at approximately 3:45 p.m. She's an honor student, so she is pretty bright. In 10th grade, she skipped 9th grade. What the hell? Her mother, Lola Lopez, filed a missing persons report and is extremely worried. I'm pretty sure they don't start looking until it's been 24 hours, but we're better than the police, so we're going to look for her now.
Perfect. And Jody and Jaden, who has the higher speed?
I have 5.
All right. Jody, you're going to get the second one. Should come onto your risk communicator any second here.
Luca Franco, age 20, University of California, Angel Grove, 3.3 GPA. Last seen at the job fair at the UCAG campus, because he knows he's probably not going to get into a good field with that 3.3.
Hey, 3.3 is a totally respectable GPA. Yeah.
He's attending UCAG on a football scholarship, European football, not American football. Majoring in economics, the school notified his parents that he's been missing soccer practice. The university called his parents about missing soccer practice. Interesting. The parents then filed a missing persons report.
Perfect. And Jaden,
in my head canon, they didn't check his dorm or ask where he is. He just didn't come to soccer. He must be kidnapped.
And Jaden, the third one flashes on to it's Albert, right? Yeah,
Yep.
it flashes onto Albert's wrist.
Let me see what we got here. We got Zin Lilin, age 19, also at the University of California, Angel Grove. 2.6.
Also a respectable GPA. That, like, you're fine. It's no big deal. That's all you get.
I mean, I am gonna say that for someone who's majoring in liberal arts, this person might need to reevaluate their overall career choices. Missing person filed report by BFF Wendy Yee. We're gonna have to look into her. She sounds suspicious here. Probably stabbed him, almost guaranteed.
BFF is in quotation marks.
Yeah, I mean, how close are they? We're not sure. Who states she walked away to record a video for social media. Again, in air quotes, what social media is this? I think we need more specifics. Freaking Wendy's story is not lining up.
Yeah, this is suspicious.
The
when she
universal social media is called MyFace.
Okay, so we're good here. So some My Face posts. When she turned back, Zin and her... Oh my god, her dog Clementine's gone? Who cares about Zin? We need to find Clementine. How is this so buried in the middle here? As Albert reads that, he's gonna like do like this little like puppy impersonation and do like this weird little waddle while like making like ears over his head. Very focused on that. And then, I mean, he's not even gonna read the rest. After hearing that Clementine's missing, he is absolutely and utterly focused on this dog.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, for everyone else, I will read it out. All it just says, because everyone should get to know this stuff. I'm not going to just leave you hanging. We're gone, but Zin's phone was left behind, laying on the ground where she was last seen. Wendy Yee reported that it was that is what tipped me off that there was a problem. So her friend disappearing and her cell phone just laying there was what tipped you off. She said, excuse me, I'm just going to take a video for a second, and her disappearing was not an issue at all. Just the phone. Oh, yeah, she would never go anywhere without her phone.
This Wendy's real suspicious.
I don't like this Wendy. I've never just turned around and my friend disappeared and be like, that's cool. Oh no, like, there's their hairpin. But Clementine, seriously guys, we need to find Clementine. Save Clementine. Yeah. Let's get a petition going.
What kind of dog is it though? If it's a Chihuahua, I care less.
It's a Pomeranian.
Yeah, it's... Okay. We'll see about Clementine. Maybe what's their name has moved back up. Zin has moved back up. They're a higher priority than Clementine.
All right. Well, listen, this game is all about like being a moral and ethical hero, and you guys are walking that line.
My guy's an oddball.
I think it is moral and ethical to consider all angles, and most often in domestic abuses, it is somebody related to them, someone who's close to them, like a BFF, who was also the last one to see the suspect.
Okay.
And we can't be certain that the dog didn't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, like, if we go save them, we can be as sarcastic as we want about it. We're still doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And caring about animals is highly moral. There's nothing amoral about liking animals more than humans.
All right. Well, in all this talk of murder and vicious animals, I will remind you, Power Rangers. I feel like you're not getting any of that. With that, however, Alpha 5 chimes back in and he says,
"Okay, Rangers, you have everything you need to begin your investigation. I'll teleport you to within a safe distance of wherever you wish to start your investigation, but you'll be far more successful using your alter egos, at least at first. Law enforcement and others won't necessarily cooperate with us, as we have no official jurisdiction, especially since you are new Rangers. But if you are as clever and resourceful as we believe you to be, you will figure out what's going on and, more importantly, why, here in Angel Grove. If you have questions, need information, or require forensic scans of evidence you find, or if you need to be teleported to a new location, I am only a communicator call away. I almost forgot. Above all, don't forget the Power Ranger Directive. First, never use your power for personal gain. Second, never escalate a battle unless your enemy forces you to. And finally, third, keep your identity secret. You must never reveal your identity. Ever! Okay, Rangers, where do you want to start your investigation?"
Thanks, Alpha. I think we should probably start at the mall, and totally not because I want to buy a snazzy new shirt.
You could change outfits 4 times.
How far away is the beach that Zin was disappeared at from the university? I want to end up in the place that gets me closest to at least 2 of the like people, so I'm not like, darting around all day.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel that beach is a perfect place to start because it like is relevant and private.
Let me double check because they do.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't have much on leads for Maya other than like she was at the high school, right? Like that's it. There's not any other place connected to her, whereas at least the other 2 have like the university as well as the beach and whatever
Start
the
with the
pitch is. Yeah,
start with the more connected people and then deal with the outlier later.
Yeah.
Well,
also that one is one of them is also 14 and the other 2 are almost 19 and 20, or 19 and 20, so
yeah,
so
that's also an interesting difference.
North Angel Grove appears to be mainly like the industrial and business side, whereas and Middleton Heights, which I think is the school there. Yeah, Angel Grove High is on the north end in on the edge there, and then the university and the beach, I believe, are both on South Angel Grove.
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, there's 2 that are in a similar area and they have way more connections. It seems almost like that 14-year-old could be like unrelated potentially even.
Yeah. Do we want to start with the university kids, because that might be 2 birds, 1 stone, and then go back and see where that leads us as far as the high schooler?
Yeah.
Or
sounds like
do
a
we
good
want to
game plan.
prioritize the child?
Ooh, that is more heroic.
Right?
That is more heroic. They are 19 and 20. They can much more fend for themselves. We should probably focus on the 14-year-old in case they're just like trapped in a tree somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Help, I can't get down.
So to the school?
Hopefully there isn't a kid starving in a
Okay.
tree.
Okay. I'm going to use my GM-ness here, and I'm going to give you guys a story point because you thought of the idea of, like, it's a child, and a child needs help over, like, adults who should be able to take care of themselves. I can dig that.
Cool.
I think that's an ethical choice. So you guys can, like, that's a shared, like, you guys have a pool
Thanks,
of story
GM.
points, right?
A collective story
Yeah,
point?
so you have 3 currently. All right, and yeah, you arrive at Angel Grove High. It's one of those big kind of open campusy styles that you would expect to see in California. And
Ugh, so jealous. We didn't even have a second floor at my school.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of teleport in onto a part of the campus outside where people wouldn't necessarily see you. And where do you want to go from here?
She was last seen in the student council room. Do we want to see if somebody can, like, lead us there? Like, stop and talk to, like, administration or something?
Sure.
Because I think it's going to be weird.
We
Like,
should-
assuming we don't go here, it's going to be weird for a bunch of assumably young adults to be just, like, walking around a high school.
We should say we're like teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Like we'd blend into the crowd like super easy.
Do we go
we
to
could
this high
say-
school?
No, like do we?
Or are we over, like, are we 18 or are we
This
16?
is a good story point. So Power Rangers doesn't dictate your age. It is recommended that you choose to either be a high school or a college university student age. But, like, you could be a kid. There are kid rangers in the show. Or you could be an adult. There are adult rangers in the show. So what do you want to be?
I feel like Calvin is probably university age. Just because he is from a small town, I feel like that would be a good reason for him to come to Angel Grove. Is, like, to go to university.
I feel no one is recognized for their dance until they at least have gotten into university, so I feel that Albert will be of university age.
If you're not Russian, no one cares that you can dance as a kid.
Yeah,
So,
lots of kids can dance.
yeah.
And Jody, are you going with that as well?
Yeah, I'll be roughly the same age, but
Okay.
I was raised by Rita Repulsa on a moon base, so this whole high school thing is new to me.
You're abnormally tall as well.
Zero.
What are the likelihood?
Build gang lead.
What are the likelihood that one of us would
Satanic.
have a sibling that goes to school here?
I think if that's something you wanted to do, that would absolutely be reasonable.
I mean, if you'll let me insert a very easy, clear throughput here, I would like to have a little sister that goes to this school.
Only if you come
We'll
up
say
with
that
her
she's-
name right now.
Abigail,
There we
she's
go.
13 years old. She hates dance. She
she plays
loves the
football.
piano. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, she's tiny. She's like 4'5" and just a fierce rugby player.
Here's my 16-page dossier. I created this weeks ago. Yeah, absolutely. Your sister Abigail definitely goes to Angel Grove High School.
Okay, so then we're gonna, or at least I'm gonna, I don't know what they want to do, but I'm gonna use that as like a little aside and be like, I'm bringing my sister like lunch or something like that, and then like to like not be this creepy 19-year-old walking around a high school.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I expect that you would even like walk past the main office, and you'd probably do a little sign in there.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I hope they would require that. That would be a very interesting school if they didn't.
This is
Yeah, like,
ostensibly set in America.
For some reason,
yeah,
the metal detector fuses out, like shorts out when you go through it.
Huh.
Like,
Weird. It's space metal. It doesn't count.
it's the power of the morphing grid.
Yeah. And then yeah, like I'd probably go give my sister that lunch and like maybe ask her quickly if she has any like insight in this girl or has like heard any rumors. But if she doesn't really have anything, I'd probably pretty quickly then start like skulking around the school a little bit and see what we can find.
Whoever would be in charge of like advanced placement and like valedictorian type students.
Okay.
They would know or the most. So
Yeah,
who,
who's
like,
the
first
second
one's the
smartest kid in school?
Okay, so we'll take care of
Is he
this.
jealous?
Yeah.
We'll take care of this in order. So, Jaden, you do find Abigail sitting in like the cafeteria area. It is kind of like lunch hour, and you bring her what looks like a paper bag that has air in it. It was just in your pocket, and you're like, "It's the lunch." You had this weird like swinging of your arm as if it was weighted, but it was oddly just like floaty, And when you get in there, you start asking her, and what kind of relationship do you have with her?
I think that since we're at odds with our interests, we are not like probably the closest. It's probably just your standard sibling relationship of like also that big of an age difference where like we have like key dynamics that exist between us, but most of our lives are lived pretty separate beyond like when we're at home arguing in front of our parents or something like that.
Fair enough. And she's like about 14, like she's what do they call them, a junior in the States?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say she's about that age.
Okay.
She got into grade 10 just through age, not through just being a genius.
Fair enough. Yeah, so she kind of, as she sees you coming, she kind of does that like, and like kind of like turns away. But then like when you like creep up and you make it known that you're there, she turns, "What do you want?"
Come on, you gotta give me them specifics. I've been hearing about some missing people, and you know me, I'm all about that detective work. I'm trying to get the agency up and going, and mom and dad are gonna be proud of me finally. So, give me the straight dope on this Maya Lopez. What's going on with her?
Straight dope.
All her 3 or 4
The
friends.
oldest 19-year-old.
Yeah, my guy's oddball. I think it fits perfectly.
The 3 or 4 friends that she has sitting with her like are start giggling and like looking away, and she's just like, "Straight dope? Are you kidding me? You're embarrassing me. I don't know anything about her. She was some preppy. She was in, I don't know, student council or something. That's when she disappeared."
That's it? That's all you got for me? I come here, I bring you this nice lunch as he like goes to like and just pretends to take out something and is just holding nothing in his hand.
Gee, thanks. It's delicious, I'm sure.
I made it myself.
Get out of here.
Okay. And yeah, he's gonna sneak off and go find the guy and say, "I didn't get much, but apparently she's part of student council. That might be something else to go for."
Yep. We knew that. That was in the original.
No, it says she's an honor student. It doesn't say student council, does it?
Yeah, it sure does. It says she was last seen.
No.
in the student council room.
You guys are so wrong. No, no one said anything about it. Who said student council? I know I came up with student council.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm glad you confirmed our lead, before we wasted our time following false leads.
I mean, I got us in. That's good enough.
Yeah, now we're just 3 grown men arguing in the middle of a high school courtyard.
All right. Do you guys make your way now? Jody, you had mentioned finding somebody who would be in charge of like honor programs, valedictorians, things like that.
Yep.
So I guess that you would know that somebody in the main office would look after that stuff. So you have 2 directions that you guys as a team can go. You can choose to split up if you want.
That's one option.
Good.
I mean, I feel like being so certain that, like Albert's so certain of himself that he figures he found that lead of student council that he's going to be so focused on that he's going right to the student council room or finding out where to get to that point if he doesn't know where it is already.
I think Calvin's gonna go with him just to make sure he doesn't do something dumb.
Doesn't find any more leads.
Yeah. She was a girl. We should check the bathroom. Like,
So interestingly enough, although Albert didn't hear what room that was, Calvin knows that it's room 19B. That was in the original report.
sure was.
Albert's going right down the total wrong way, heading to the 50s.
So you guys do find your way to 19B. This room, when you look inside of it, because it's cleared for lunch, the teacher didn't stick around. Probably out smoking or something. I don't know. Teachers are horrible. This room,
They were the worst.
Yeah, it contains 25 desks that are basically empty, aside from a few stray papers and pens. It's pretty ordinary. There's nothing really outstanding out crazy. You can tell that there was a student council meeting yesterday, as there's a little note on the board saying that it was supposed to be yesterday. You don't really see anything out of the ordinary upon first glance.
Are the desks like elementary school ones where they like open up and you keep stuff inside, or is it like regular high school ones where it's just like a tabletop and legs and no like storage built in?
Yeah, but they're also even worse where they're actually attached to the chair.
Oh, those are the best ones because then you can lean everything back. All right. Is the door unlocked?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I think I open it up and we like sneak in and then like quickly close it behind us, just so it's not like super obvious that we're in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Albert is instantly gonna lose interest and just start like doing like wall sits, training for his recital next week.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Yeah, as you guys look around, you see that it's basically like every other high school classroom. Posters on the walls and things that say inspirational quotes. In fact, there's one poster
Keep
that
hamming it in there with a cat. hanging
close.
from a
It's
clothes
actually
line. Yeah.
it's a cat in a Power Rangers suit that says "Climb and realize your dreams."
Oh, that's so meta.
Did we sign off on this? I'm pretty sure we can see.
You guys aren't getting residuals?
What? No. Man. Zordon gave me a Starbucks gift card last week. That was about it. Like,
Man, I
Oof,
don't
you
even
gotta
have a
read
bank
that
account.
contract.
damn. All right.
All right, and in order to play this scene out, I am just going to have you guys turn your directions towards the skills, and of course, we're kind of going through what's ostensibly an investigation section of the game, and so I would encourage you to look at your skills and look about what kind of things do you think would be necessary to investigate.
I don't have much. Because I'm not very smart.
Well, I would first go for an alertness check to see if there's like do they have like lockers or something in the student council room, like for the individual people, like where they would keep documents, or is there like an agenda or something
Like,
from this missing girl that would show like what was happening around the time, like what she was up to around the time she went missing?
There wouldn't be anything like that, but you could definitely still roll your alertness, and because you're looking around for like clues of what happened at a specific time.
13.
13. All right. Well, you look around, and the area's been filled with high school kids several times. You can tell that, there's trash on the floor, footprints, and things like that. So you can definitely tell that people have been coming and going. Even though the floor has been swept and the trash was emptied, you can tell because it's not as full as you would expect to see it at the end of a day. And there are many posters on the walls, mostly relating to after-school activities and clubs. Curiously, you also... Oh, Jody, did you roll your... Did you get an edge as well?
No, I don't
you
think
didn't.
so. It was just Cade.
Okay, you also see there appears to be a life-size, really thick poster of a teenage boy, and it sticks out at a weird angle from the other posters along the walls.
Is it Aaron Carter?
No. Although it's about that era.
Deep cut. Yeah.
Well, go check it out.
Okay.
Hey, gang, you see that on the wall? Looks like somebody hid something behind it.
Albert's gonna try and run up to it and cannonball through it.
Okay.
This feels like the door.
So Albert runs up, and he just pummels it. And the first thing that he notices is it's really heavy. And so he actually takes one point of damage when he slams into this thing.
He really notices and didn't expect behind there a wall.
Well, no, that's actually more concerning, is it wasn't attached to the wall at all. It was standing all on its own, and yet it doesn't have one of those standy supports or anything. Like the little triangle wedge. It doesn't have one of those. And you do knock it over.
I totally imagined a prison poster on a wall with a hole behind it. I don't know where I
Yeah,
got
no, it
that
was some
from.
running
Shawshank,
through doors, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Doors.
Can I take a closer look at it and see if it's somebody familiar or
Why don't you roll me an insight?
what is insight?
Should be under your smarts.
I have alertness, culture, science, survival, and technology. I do not have insight.
Yeah, insight's D&D.
I don't have insight anywhere on here.
Listen.
I don't see one
The
either.
book is telling me an insight skill check. Let me double check.
I don't know. Yeah.
This game. Stop naming things differently.
I'd like to reiterate my previous complaints that we had
Is it-
prior to hitting record.
Is it a specialization?
Maybe. If it is, I don't have it.
Which is even weirder though, because the specializations they give you are just here's some ideas, come up with the rest yourself.
Yeah.
Insight seems fitting. It seems like it'd be a part of alertness. Alertness to me seems like it's how much am I just able to take in of what's going on around me, and insight might be how can I actually read the room
It's,
Sherlock style, but still it's I don't know.
It says it's a specialization of the alertness skill.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the specialization.
Okay, give me an alertness then, and just don't roll specialization.
Okay. 16.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, yeah, on page 208, I don't know why this is the first time I've seen it. I'm sure it's somewhere else, but yeah, it says next to alertness, insight, also investigation. There's almost yeah, okay. There's specializations. We get it. It's fine. 16. Okay. So,
yeah.
Cade, you notice that, first of all, this is legitimately life-size. And it doesn't even have any white edges or anything around it like it was printed out. The next part of it is that the face of the cardboard cutout looks surprised and almost like a strong touch of fear. And honestly, you're unnerved at how realistic it is.
So you said it's heavy. When I try to lift it, would I say it's about the weight of a boy this size?
Not quite, but it is definitely close to half the weight of a person. You go to lift him, and he's about half as heavy as you would expect if it was a real life person.
Okay. I don't know much about the Power Rangers universe, but is it possible that this is a boy who was turned into a cardboard cutout? I'm asking the group. I'm not necessarily asking the D&D or the DM if this is a thing.
Because that does sound like a Power Rangers like bad guy of the day's ability, right?
It
Like
does.
they'd always have like some weird thing that they could like really mess with people.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, like a sinister like carnival house or something where like
We work for a talking head, so like
It's
at
true.
some
I
point
guess anything
anything
is
He's
goes.
a full
Yeah.
man in a vacuum tube to keep him alive, okay? You just project the head.
yeah. I've heard in alternate universes there's people made of ooze, so
Thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
for
which
Right.
apparently isn't canon.
It is not.
But whatever. Which is ridiculous. It should be. Anyway.
Yeah, it's the single best piece of media in the entire franchise. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
I'm gonna say the comics are pretty good. Apparently, the fighting game is really popular.
Can I like take out like I assume what year is it in this universe?
2022.
Yeah, they're
Perfect. Can I
posted
pull
on-
up my cell phone and take a picture of this kid?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm thinking we might need to add somebody else to like a missing persons list. Cause yeah, I'm thinking this might be like a person.
We should show the picture to the administrators to see if they know him. Like real nonchalant.
I don't know if I want to be a 19-year-old showing administrators a picture of a child I have no
They've
connection
already
to.
let us in.
Do we want to go back?
I
and
don't
talk to
think
your
that's
sister?
how that works.
Yeah. Do we want to go back and talk to your sister and be like, "Hey, do
Yeah.
you recognize this
Yeah.
kid?" Like,
That's a much safer choice.
All right. Do you just like leave it there?
I feel like no one would think it's.
I think I'd
okay,
probably
peop-
stand it back up and like put it safely in a corner, just in case this is like a person.
We're not gonna fold it.
No, I'm definitely not gonna fold it up, put it in my backpack, and like.
So as you put it back, you do notice that the backside appears as a backside of a person. There's no like
Oh,
double
100%. This is a real kid.
Are they wearing a backpack or anything? Like they would be like, why would you add that weirdly specific of a detail? Or like have like you know what I'm saying, like something that's like not just the back of a person.
no, nothing crazy.
Are
Okay,
they
so
wearing
just, like,
any
the back
like
of their shirt.
school spirit wear that is like, yes, I'm from this school, or like maybe from a nearby university, or
They are wearing a little like rubberized bracelet that has Angel Grove High on it.
okay, cool. I'm also gonna take like a picture of that with my phone too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go talk to Abigail.
Okay. So this time you find Abigail. It takes a little while to track her down, but you find her just kind of waiting outside, just against like the one west side of the building, you know, where the shade is. And she like immediately starts to kind of just like get up and walk away as soon as she sees you coming. But you guys quickly run up to her.
Yeah, Albert's gonna just hot foot it and be like, Abby, hey, Abigail, until she slows down.
What?
Hey,
And then-
I pull up my phone. Like, have you seen this kid? Like, is this kid somebody you know or somebody you've seen around school?
So as you show it to her, immediately her eyes go wide, and she's like, "How did you get that?"
We found a like cardboard cutout in the students' union building or room.
She immediately, you can see this like relief come across her face, and she's like, "Oh, that's Lewis Jennings. Rumor is that he's missing, but nobody's filed a report yet. It's really strange of you to be showing that picture now. You said you found a cardboard cutout?"
Yeah, it was just like hanging out in the students' union room. Did he do like modeling for like school promotional stuff or?
She thinks about it for a sec, and she goes, "No. And besides, wait, did you guys tell her that it was a cardboard cutout thing? I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, I said it was a
Yeah.
cardboard cutout thing.
She goes like, we definitely don't have any printers that would do something that big. I've been in our media lab.
Okay. How long has he been missing?
Well, that's the thing. He just didn't come to school today, so the rumor flying about is that he went out the same way that Maya did. But at least she's had an official report about her.
Was he acting weird or anything the last little while?
I mean, it's Lewis. No one really likes him. He's a little weird, but no weirder than
Okay,
usual.
yeah, we'll put the catty bitchiness away for a second. It is, like weird, like something was wrong.
You gonna let him talk about your sister that way? Come on.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I think that fits exactly into a sibling dynamic.
That's fair. Sorry, was there a real question there? I missed it.
Was he acting weird? Like, was he acting
No,
out of the ordinary for him?
She confirms no. Like, everything was totally normal. The day seemed normal. There was no, like, weird fights breaking out. Like, nothing strange was going on.
Okay.
Until Maya disappeared.
Was he friends with Maya?
No, but they were both
Like, were they in, like, the same clubs and stuff?
Yeah, they were both in the student council, but that was it.
Okay, so he was actually in student council. Okay.
When's the
What
last time
teacher oversees student council?
That would be Ms. Farnwright. Miss Farnwright.
Interesting. That's just a nice little tidbit there.
Okay.
What was your thing, Jody?
Did we ask when the last time anybody saw him was? Like, has he not been to school in a couple days?
She said today, right?
Just today.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know where Miss Farnwright would be right now?
Well, it's lunch, so she's probably in the teacher's lounge. It's through the office. If it's an emergency, if you really think that you could talk to somebody, anybody in the office would help you out.
Okay.
Would I know if she has any connection with, like, the university or anything like that? Like, is she any sort of touch point to these other people's the
like
little
a
facts
career
we know
counselor
about?
or something?
Yeah, or, like, maybe she's the football coach or something like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe she's a very busy person about educating young people.
I think if you were to make me an alertness roll, you'd probably...
I can do that. Let's see what we got. Oh, no. He's not going to know anything. That is a 7.
Yeah, you haven't heard anything about her being connected to a university or anything?
Yeah, I was so far away from the honors student things in the student council. There's no way I knew anything about this lady.
It's just then you hear this, like, chiming on your wrist communicator. And you don't hear Alpha, like, calling out to you, but he is definitely trying to chime in on you.
We will
All of us,
probably
or
try
one?
and take...
It'd be to all of you.
Okay.
How weird would it be me answering my wrist? Because I'm assuming most people use cell phones and they're not looking like...
Does it look like an iPhone or an Apple Watch?
Yeah.
We're going to say mostly, with the added benefit of it has holographic display. But, like,
Just
good,
enough
not like
that
Star
you can't
Wars.
answer it in person.
So no one's gonna think it's that crazy if we're talking to talking to our wrist. No one's gonna be like, "Oh, that's
No.
These weirdo childs." Okay, then we'll probably just answer it wherever we are. I would assume.
Is that where we're at in the future of the world? Is that Power Rangers is more likely than ever? Less people would question you talking to your wrist.
Yeah.
I can live with that world. I really can.
People running away around in weird suits.
You guys remember at the beginning of the pandemic when there was the clown horror? I remember that.
Oh, that was pre-pandemic.
Like
that was like 2016.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a while.
Yeah, it was
You're
a long
right,
time
you're
ago.
Right, but
It was when I first moved to the town I'm in now.
It was after
'Cause my-
Harambe, though, so
It was after Harambe. R.I.P.
that's where
The
it all
world's been in
started.
decline since Harambe.
It's his fault.
Anyways, so Alpha's
It
trying to
sent
get a
us
hold of
into
you.
the darkest timeline.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame him. He should have dodged a bullet.
Jesus.
I think that this kid has been maligned for too long.
Sorry, are you gonna speak to Alpha right in front of you, in front of your sister? Because like one of the
People
rules...
probably
I'm
like
not
step
in
off
the
to where.
conversation, right? Like I'm standing
Off-
behind everybody, so
okay.
I could answer.
Okay. Because I'm just the third rule,
Yeah.
right? Can't reveal your
Yeah.
identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we would have it like within like direct earshot where people are hearing our conversation, but I just don't know if we need to be like secret, like let's
Go
go
hide
find
in
a
a bush.
freaking back
Yeah.
alley or something
All right.
to answer.
So you like
it.
maybe step away, like you're done talking with her, and take the... Okay.
Yeah, peace.
That's kind of
So
just
I
what I
hold
wanted to
my-
make sure, is that you weren't just like right in front of her, so he's like, Rangers!
Yeah.
She'd definitely be telling your parents, who apparently don't like you. So as you answer it, you...
Rangers, have you gathered any information? Time is of the essence.
Well, we found a kid who was potentially turned into a like a flat cardboard cutout of themselves. that has some loose connections to the first missing person. Beyond that, we're still at the high school. We haven't left yet.
By the way, the Pink Ranger's sister sucks.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, she's
does.
a catty bitch.
You guys are definitely never allowed to recruit Abigail. She will ruin the
So I'm
agency.
gonna write that down for a plot point.
She comes out as the White Ranger. And she was a
Kills
secret
me.
agent the whole time.
Okay, so you mentioned just missing person stuff, and did you mention the cutout?
Yeah, I said that we found a kid who might have been turned into a cutout. We found him, and that he has some connections to Maya.
A kid that may have been turned into a cutout. Rangers, get him back here immediately.
I mean, all right.
So he teleports you guys back, and he takes a look at it, and he's like analyzing with a scanner, and he's like,
Rangers, this appears to be a person who's had their water sucked out of them. They're completely dehydrated.
Giggity.
So he's like an MMA fighter, or trying to make weight, or
Not to worry, we'll put him in this vacuum chamber, and he will be back to health in no time.
Albert's gonna throw a cup of water on him.
it
Just
swells like cardboard when
Yeah,
you get it wet.
he heard he was dehydrated, so he's gotta be thirsty. Instantly has his glass of water and just dumps it on them.
if you were to touch it afterwards, you would notice that the skin, or what it would be skin, would feel just a little bit more lifelike.
Gotcha, bro.
Gross.
Oh, Rangers, this is so terrible. You must go back to the school and find more information, or go to the next one.
I feel like maybe we should go to the university and then maybe go back to the high school after hours. And then maybe we can find a little bit more without having to worry about, the social
That's
implications of that. And then at least also we know if the high schoolers are having similar things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
And it's not part of the Power Ranger code to not break and enter, so...
Right? It's in the pursuit of justice.
Yeah. There's a whole infiltration skill check.
Right?
And with that, Alpha will just say,
Go, Power Rangers!
and flash to credits.
Boo.
With that, I'm out of coffee, and that means it's time to run.